ever seen Nacho Libre?
No.
Dude, you would laugh until you passed out.
Because, you know why I haven't seen it?
Humor ever.
Because it looks so stupid, like beyond my level of stupid.
So funny. It's so ridiculously funny.
You know, I guess. I mean, I thought about it. There was a shtick on there about baptism that I thought was that I found one that was.
There's lots of that in there though. Like there's lots of it. Like I won't give anything away, but the eagle egg is.
Well, it might be on my list, man. I've never watched it because I just frankly it looks so dumb.
It's something the girls could watch too. It's funny. It's funny enough the girls could watch it.
Okay.
And they would enjoy it. There would be a lot of questions, but they would enjoy it. There's nothing super inappropriate in it. So
okay, nothing super inappropriate.
Well, it's not really anything I would consider overtly inappropriate in it, right? So.
Dude, this is nectar of the gods, bro. The strawberries and cream Dr. Pepper is legit.
I don't really like Dr. Pepper.
Well, I don't know.
Start putting stuff in Dr. Pepper that might jack it up even more.
Oh, the strawberries and cream Dr. Pepper, the zero sugar is legit.
Julie said there's like a blackberry one.
There's a blackberry one.
She said it's really good.
But I prefer the strawberries and cream, to be honest. I like the blackberry one too, but this one, oh, so good. And I can get it on Amazon for cheap.
Stick with the Pepsi and the Coke.
Yeah. Well, what I've been trying to do. So I bought what were they called? Zevia soda, right? Because I'm looking for like a different alternative because I just like soda, man. I mean, it's like it's just a thing. I'm just like soda, and I drink tea most of the day. And I like the Ghost drinks, obviously, Monster and stuff. But the Ghost stuff, I mean, it's like $2 if you buy them on Amazon. It's like almost $2 something a can or whatever.
I'm telling you, man, it's worth it to go to GNC and get because you can order them to your house. But once you join GMC, the Gold Card membership, it's buy one get one half price every weekend.
I paid $29 for a 12-pack.
Yeah. I can go to GNC and get 2 12-packs of Ghost for $42 after tax. If I do it during Gold Card days, which is every Friday and which is every Saturday and Sunday. And you can do it online. You can order it right to your front door.
That's still though, you're still talking $2 a can, though.
Well, yeah, but that's cheaper than $3 a can.
Yeah, but I'm just saying.
Also, I enjoy. There's a company out there called Gorilla Mind, and they're much cheaper, just as good a flavor, and you can get those for fairly cheap.
I gotta look at those, but it was just an attempt. But I really like this. I don't drink it that much anymore because soda anymore bloats me, dude. I mean, we're getting old, bro.
Yeah, I don't really get bloated from soda, but I get dehydrated really quickly when I start drinking a lot of soda.
Yeah, well, that's true.
My problem is I get super dehydrated.
I do that now with coffee, bro. I should never. I used to be able to drink coffee all flipping day, without a problem. But now, I drink a cup of coffee in the morning, and I feel like I'm so thirsty.
I've cut back to 1 cup of coffee in the morning. It's a big cup. Don't get me wrong. But it's one mug of coffee in the morning. It's a big old mug of coffee. Big old biggin. big old mug of coffee. And then I drink a ton of water at work, and then caffeine when I need it. But
dude, I've speaking of that stuff, I've started supplementing with the hydration packets.
Yeah,
LMNT is what I'm taking now. That helps so much, bro. That helps a ton.
Does it feel like your blood's concrete?
No. Like I'm like, cause I was like, after my workouts, I was struggling with this. I was struggling with hydration, man. I mean, cause it was like, it's legit. And it was just because, if you're on a ketogenic diet, it affects that too. So that doesn't help you at all.
Because you have to cut out a lot of high water bearing foods that help keep you hydrated. Yeah.
So I didn't understand. It's one thing I'd overlooked, I guess, in my whole program here was that. And you go to, like, if I go in the hot tub for like an hour, and I'm like, I feel so dehydrated. And so now I started drinking that stuff. And it's like it's changed so much of how I feel about that and everything.
There's a cheaper way to do it. You want to know the secret?
Salt water?
Crack a little Himalayan sea salt in your water. Does the same thing.
Yeah.
And if you don't over crack it, it doesn't taste like salt water. It just dissipates into the water. Gives it a high pH
I don't mind. I like the packets. Yeah. I think there's a flavor profile to it. I mean,
yeah, there is.
And I like it. I definitely like it more than like the sparkling waters with flavoring in it.
I don't like sparkling water at all.
Well, no.
I always feel like I'm like I can't do it. So
I know. Brian, so look, we are actually in Holy Week.
Holy Week.
Starting really tomorrow, I think is really, well, no.
Sorry. Chanting for Holy Week. Sorry, like an idiot.
I don't understand that at all.
It's okay.
We're not that.
Yeah, I know.
Way. Thank you, Brian, for that wonderful
moment of ridiculousness.
Yes,
got it.
but I mean, so where we're coming at here is like I realized we've spent like the last 10 episodes just hammering.
We have
on the institutions and captures and ideologies and all this kind of stuff.
And you know what's sad? We could spend another 10 episodes doing it.
But this has been the most, I guess, the most intense, I mean, not intense, but complex and in-depth stuff.
And hyper-intentional as well.
Yeah.
Like we've really gone after a certain thing for a minute. Right?
Yeah.
But I've also enjoyed it. Like, I think there was a ton of education that came from it. I hope anyone who listened got something from it.
Well, and it came up to, like, because the Easter's like the Super Bowl for Christians, right? I mean, like, there should be. I should say that. Easter's. So here we are in Holy Week before that. So you have Palm Sunday, which is, we're recording this on Saturday, so tomorrow's Palm Sunday.
Okay.
And you have all these events that really historically happened during this week, leading up to the crucifixion and resurrection of Christ, which is what Easter is all about, is the actual celebrating the resurrection. But you have Good Friday in the mix of things, and it was this thought that sparked what we're doing today. Was like, we've talked about how all these all this woke demonic ideology has taken over the institutions and our corporate Americas and our science and tech and all this stuff, and trying to erode a masculinity and all this stuff. But when it came down to it, I was like, this week is a really good illustration of kind of how far we've drifted and where the mindset of our culture has been and is and will be for the next foreseeable future. And that's in due to a great part with all the stuff we've been talking about.
Well, and it's just to kind of tell you how far away the holiday has become. I find it interesting to take a look at everybody's Easter mascot, the Easter Bunny. Just to kind of give you an overview how far away from the holy celebration this should be. The German tradition of the Easter hare. The earliest written record of the Easter hare is from 1678 in German text detailing regional traditions that a hare brought colorful eggs and hid them in the gardens for children. It's a symbolism of rebirth. Hares have long symbols of fertility in spring due to their rapid reproduction rates, making it suitable emblems for Easter. I'm not sure how. The Osterhaus in America, German immigrants who settled in Pennsylvania brought the legend with them. Children would create nests, often using hats or bonnets in the garden for the Osterhaus to fill with colorful eggs. The evolution of the bunny over time transformed into the American bunny, and the tradition of hidden eggs grew to conclude chocolate treats, candy, and gifts. Folklore connection, while some connect the hare to the Anglo-Saxon goddess Eostre, a symbol of spring. Direct documentation of this connection is debated, and the most direct origins are rooted in German folk customs. But just to kind of show you, what does that have to do with Easter?
Well, just the fact it's called Easter at all, which is actually more aligned with paganism than anything.
Yeah.
Resurrection Sunday is really where we're at here.
Australia.
Yeah. I find it completely just so irritating this time of year because, I mean, it is just turned into this stupid consumerist nonsense. But
well, I mean, people are going to make money off it if they can.
Yeah. Well, I get, dude, I'm not going to necessarily harp on the making a money part, but like what I think is extremely, extremely illuminating, right? Let's take Good Friday. Of all the days I can think of that should be a real holiday that is like legit from a Christian perspective, Good Friday is that should be a very introspective, very, I don't know, man, somber day.
Somber.
Because this is the day the Good Friday when we're saying this is, 2,000 years ago, Christ was hung on a cross.
Yeah.
Right now.
That's right.
Right?
Yep.
And instead of that, it's not even acknowledged as a federal holiday. It's not even recognized as a state holiday, except for in 12 states. If you want Good Friday off, you have to take it. It's for a federal employee or a corporate employee. You got to take it off.
Yep.
As a vacation day. But this is what's really frustrating and why I get so irritated at these stupid holidays. Juneteenth is a federal flipping holiday, bro. If Martin Luther King Day is a holiday, Columbus Day is a holiday, give me a break, bro. Like, this should tell you.
Yeah.
Now, I think this is a really telling part, though, okay? You can pull up, and this is what I found this so fascinating. They have these special stupid DEI calendars. They're this woke garbage that you can pull up. Never seen one before until this episode, by the way. And here's a good one. Culture Ally. That name should tell you all you need to know about where that comes from.
The Culture Ally.
Oh my gosh. And they got hundreds of friggin' stupid holidays on there to this is this day and this day. And they got like massive amounts of information about how to celebrate, what it means, all this stuff.
I can imagine.
And they got nothing it's freaking just a footnote for Easter and nothing for Good Friday. So that should tell you exactly where the mind of the leftist ideology is.
Yeah.
Right? And by the way, I gotta say this. If you're a progressive, quote unquote, Christian, can I say this, Brian? Ready?
Sure.
You're not a Christian at all.
Yeah, that's a heartbreaker for me in the sense that as what we're seeing as of late is, again, we're seeing a socialization of the church, which I think is it's just another way of poisoning the church, right? It's another way of poisoning the well. I mean, all of this, Easter, the Easter Bunny, they've even corporatized how we celebrate Easter.
Yeah.
Right? They won't give us a national holiday, but they will corporatize the celebration of it to sell books but it's not a holiday. Right? So it's the grand old argument I've always had. I believe you can, and this is something that's revelatory to me, and this might have a little bit to do with what you're talking about. I think you can believe that God is real and not be aligned with him. Does that make sense?
Well, I mean, that's the demons and Satan.
And I think what the progressive Christian is they know that God is real, but they're not aligned with him. And what they don't realize is just knowing he's real isn't enough.
Well, no, because even the demons.
Yeah. The devil knew God. The devil knows God's real.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh yeah.
It's not like that's new information, but I feel like you'll hear a lot of people go, well, my God wouldn't. First of all, he's not your God. He's everyone's God. Secondly, you go to church every Sunday and you read the Bible and you tell people that you're a Bible believing Christian, yet you violate and defy it every chance you get. And then you justify it with, well, I'm just being kind. No, you're being a doormat and you're letting people walk all over what you believe and then pull you away from it. And it tells me that even though you understand and know God is real, you are not grounded in him at all.
Well, it's you. I mean, yeah, basically like this. You're lukewarm.
Yeah.
And we know what happens when you're lukewarm. He'll spit you out.
Yes.
So I firmly, truly, utterly believe that your lukewarm nonsense will be the detriment of your soul, period. Now, getting back to this, the ideological capture of the institutions, right?
Yes.
We talked extensively about that in our series, but I think this is the point where we just say, well, it hit our calendar, right? I mean, this is really where the institutional account, we can see it in the actual days of the year and so what we celebrate. Yeah. And I mean, to give you an idea, what was it? The National Retail Federation in 2025 said we spent $23.6 billion on Easter. Americans did, right? And what was the top spending category?
Candy.
92% spent on
candy.
Candy.
Which just goes to show you. Hey, don't get me wrong. I like a good whatchamacallit bar from time to time, but I don't spend 92% of my income on candy. That's kind of ridiculous.
Dude, listen, you want to talk about make America healthy again? What about that? I mean, now look, I get like special occasions, okay? And this is kind of what I've been doing with my own diet was like, you know, there's times when I get together like at a big family meeting or whatever, it's time to eat.
Yeah.
We're going to feast.
We're going to eat.
That's cool.
We're going to chow down.
But man, that's really it. Matter of fact, my wife was in New Albany yesterday, and one of my favorite things in the world is Doc Seafood's fried fish. I'm not afraid to admit it. That's exactly, I love that stuff. I could eat that every damn gone day and be happy. And she was down to Albany, so she picked some up, brought home for lunch. I gobbled that stuff up. Now that's not really part of my normal diet.
Yeah.
But every once in a while, it's okay. And this would be okay. Really, if you think about it, if this holiday was like the only time you really had candy or anything like that, cool. But most Americans aren't living like that. Most Americans are shoving chips and chocolate, which chocolate's not that bad, but it is when it's sometimes. But chips and candy in their mouth all the time. So what does it do? This is just a bigger example.
And see, for me, it's not candy, it's chips. Oh, potato chips. I could eat potato chips all day.
Man.
I could eat, and all the different potato chips. Doritos, Tostitos, Cheetos.
I love me some Doritos, bro. I do.
Dude. And it's the traditional nacho cheese Dorito. You can keep the Cool Ranch. You can keep all the other ones. You keep taco. Just give me some dusty orange Doritos.
Yeah, actually, what I grew up on two things. My dad we always had either one, right? Munchos.
Oh, okay.
Which is the weirdest. It's like I don't know. It's a weird potato chip, but that's what my dad got all the time. Or Bugles.
I like Bugles.
We used to eat Bugles. Like my dad would. So on the weekends, he go, okay, we're going fishing. We go, okay. And so in the morning, he'd go get a thing of bologna, a loaf of bread, some Bugles, and Coke. That's what we brought fishing with us.
All right, so my fat kid's going to come out. You ready?
And Little Debbie's, by the way.
When I was a kid, my grandmother used to buy Bugles. And she used to buy Cheese Whiz. So we would sit on the back porch and take a Bugle and pump that bad boy full of Cheese Whiz and eat it. That was good stuff.
Oh, bro.
I could do that right now.
Dude, I'm telling you what. I don't care how terrible it is. Easy cheese. I don't care.
First of all, if it's named Easy, probably not good for you.
No, it's got to be terrible. But I cannot help it. If you set me down with some Easy cheese and I don't know, some kind of cracker that's legit. Chicken and a biscuit crackers or something like that.
Oh yeah.
They're both chemically ridden of all kinds of stuff.
Captain's wafer.
Captain's wafer too. I mean, I'm good. It's all good. Triscuits. I like Triscuits, but only if there's a lot of cheese. But anyway, getting back to we're getting off. I'm getting hungry now.
Mozzarella sticks. Never mind. Let's not talk about that.
So anyway, we talked about how much we're spending on nonsense, and out of all that spending and everything, only 45% of those celebrating plan to attend church. Okay. Now, and this has declined a lot, and I think these numbers are weird, and I don't want to, percentages of participation in Easter services have declined since 2024, whatever. But I don't really know the percentages. Where I got these from was kind of meh, so I won't even mention that. But it's just it's declining. So, I don't know. The idea here is just that we have this. We have one of the most important weeks of the year as far as what being a Christ follower is about, remembering things and really the key events here. And it's just getting turned into a freaking $1 billion candy sale, bro.
Okay, so on this side, we have your Lord and Savior and the celebration of his existence. And on this side, we have a stranger dressed in a creepy bunny costume selling you chocolate. And you all seem to want to go talk to the creepy bunny.
Want some candy? Hey, little kid. Want some candy?
It's like weird. I don't know, man. I look at our, I think this is a stark and straight indictment of the fact that we have lost touch with almost the entirety of our moral core as a country. We have gotten to the point where we believe the ridiculous over the redemptive. Or, as my old coach used to say, I'll take the truth on a saltine over bullshit on a Ritz.
There you go.
He goes, and I'm saying that this whole Easter Bunny thing is bullshit on a Ritz.
Yeah.
Like,
dude, it's just, but it's like, I mean, and I think for me, when what catapulted me even further towards being anti-woke, anti-leftist, anti-whatever was last year when in 2024, not last year, I'm sorry, when 2024, when Biden said, let's have this transgender day of visibility on the same day as what?
Easter.
Oh!
Easters.
It was like, how freaking blind are you, dude?
I know, dude. Well,
he was batshit nuts anyway. But.
Well, yeah, he was a corpse. We are the only country in the world to elect a corpse for president. I don't know if that's a proud thing to hold up in the air, but it's a truth anyway. It is a truth. But here's the kind of where it's things like this that, dude, I started really rejecting leftist insanity right around 2018 because I could just smell what was happening, right? You could just kind of, Trump had been elected into office. The left was just losing their goose. And it wasn't Trump that turned me in that direction. It was the literal break from reality that was happening. Like, now, granted, some of the stuff that went on when Biden was in office definitely drove the nail right into the lid of the coffin, right? Like, I don't, and even now, the IOC, the International Olympic Committee came out and said no transgender athletes in the Olympics. And now there are actual Olympic athletes that are fighting with the IOC because they said that, right? It's just, and this is an example of it. I mean, think about what this should be. This should be about the purity of what, I mean, if you read the Easter story in the Bible, or I call it I don't call it the Easter story. You read the story of the last week of Christ's life in the Bible. It is probably the most important story of the Bible you will read, period.
It is.
And we have literally turned it into a 3-ring circus. Now, don't get me wrong. When my kids were little, We hid Easter eggs. We did all that stuff, but we never sold that part of it as part of what the celebration was, right? I didn't bring the Easter bunny up. We didn't talk about the Easter bunny. I don't believe in, dude. It's just like my son said when he came to me about Christmas, and he says, "Dad, is Santa Claus real?" And I was like, "Why do you ask me that?" And he's like, "Well, Dad, if a stranger came down our chimney, you would kill him."
You're not wrong.
You're not wrong. So, but there's this, we have gotten so desperate for something to pour ourselves into and believe in that we've actually picked fictional 1600s German characters instead of the actual real life Salvatore.
But this is the pattern of what our humanity was. You go back to Moses and what the 10 Commandments, and when he came down from the mountain and what was happening, they had fashioned a freaking golden calf.
Yeah.
It's the same thing. They were just there. The Red Sea was just parted. They just escaped. And what happens? Even then, these freaking idiot people would sit there and say, "Oh, yeah, he's been gone too long."
Well,
we're going to fashion a calf.
Okay, so you want a great story? Let's talk about the week. You got Palm Sunday.
Yep.
Crowd wanted a political revolutionary. Jesus arrived on a donkey. Temple cleansing. Jesus walks into the institution and flips tables. He doesn't reform it from within. He doesn't he's not trying to hold hands,
This is really the first time the use of force is seen in the Gospels.
First time that Christ loses his goose.
I mean, and he had a whip.
Yeah.
And he was whipping and throwing them tables.
Righteous anger, baby.
I'm telling you. And so, yeah, I mean, this is definitely like, it's so different from our corporate and our political stuff right now, where you have to petition and do these committees and all this stuff. No, he wasn't having any of it.
Well, and then you got Gethsemane, where Christ literally asks his Father to take it. He doesn't want it. If you can take this burden from me, take it. But yet when he knows and realizes that the obedience is the point, he willingly takes the mantle on, right?
Yeah, I mean the flesh that so you got to understand, if Christ is the embodiment of God in the flesh, he still has flesh. So the flesh is and what we know is sinful. So we're saying his flesh is sitting there tempting him and just crying out that no, this is not, we do, it's really his body revolting from
which bears the example of why Christ had to come back as a man.
Yes.
So
yeah, I mean, this is huge, man. It's like he felt every single bit of the weight of what he was about to do, and every single ounce of just humility and degradation and just pain and suffering that was going to happen.
Though. Imagine you and me, not Christ. Imagine you and me as we were, knowing that this would be our last night of rest, that we were going to be tortured to death, and they weren't going to let us die easy, right? It was going to be, if anybody here has ever watched The Passion of the Christ, what they did to him was actually what they did to him. Like that
was close. And even that is supposedly probably not as severe.
Yeah. But just to kind of give you
that's as much as they could do without having it be like completely
without it having like a X rating.
Yeah.
So they got Good Friday, when the absolute religious zealots and the politicians of Rome killed an innocent man by nailing him to a cross. The Sanhedrin manipulated the Roman authority and to eliminate the threat to their theological power. Then you got the tomb. Saturday there was silence. The disciples scattered, confused, grieving.
You got to understand, at this point, the disciples were just dismantled.
Think about how that would be today. That information vacuum that happened. We just talked about this. Imagine what that information vacuum would be filled with today.
Oh my goodness. OMG, Batman.
Yeah, and they were scattered, they were disheartened, they were lost. And then you have Easter Sunday, where the resurrection isn't metaphorical, it's historical. And he comes back. Rolls the way that the stone rolls away from the tomb. And the proof of the prophecy is real at that point. Like the prophecy has been fulfilled.
Yeah, he's back. And it's not just he's back in some ghostly manner or whatever.
Yeah.
He's got his skin suit on.
Yeah. He got his skin suit on.
Or a meat suit, as I think I referenced it before.
Yeah, meat suit. Actually, yeah, meat suit. There you go. I like it.
Yeah. So I mean, there it is. And then, and so this whole thing that he does this week, revealing exactly what the whole thing about God and his intentions about humanity, and that he brought himself down to our level and suffered because we certainly weren't going to do it. And we needed something to happen in order for us to be saved as a whole entire race of people. And he did all that.
Yeah.
It's documented. It's the most documented thing. I mean, like, here's what people don't understand. Hiccup. Here's what people don't understand is like the whole, Jesus is like the most documented historical figure ever.
Yeah.
He is. There's more recent manuscripts and more closely aligned manuscripts and all this stuff about Christ than anyone else. And it's closer to when he was actually exist than anyone else. There's his stories about his resurrection and stuff are, again, very documented. All this kind of, and we want to throw that away these days because because of what it is. It's so fantastic. It's like, they can't be real. Yet we believe crap about Caesar when we have stuff like 700 years after. And we're like, oh, that's got to be true. Alexander the Great. We got stuff like 1,500 years later, and we're like, oh, that's true. No. Anyway, so this is the thing. This is the heaviest week that we have from, and I don't care what you say. Our whole civilization is the way it is because of Christian values and ethics. And so that whole religious framework is built around this week that we have. And this whole week gets shoved to the side because of ideological capture.
Yes. Agreed.
That's the whole thing we're getting to here. And this is the the frustrating thing here is that, nowadays, you have these blue-haired old women out there shouting that are, by the way, who are lesbian men, might as well be. I don't know what you're going to call them. They're crazy.
They're a little crackodocious.
Oh, bro. And we're going to sit there and go, oh, we're going to listen to that.
Yeah. I'm going to agree with that.
No. Anyway. So look, that we've gone through all this stuff, Brian, I think this is where I land here. Cause I think we're not going to do an episode next week. I can't, I have commitments around the Resurrection Sunday holiday.
That's okay.
So we'll mix next week.
Yeah, you'll be okay.
If we can fit it in,
air hug.
If we can fit it in, maybe.
Air hug. We don't have to fit in. Air hug. They can have our air hug, and then they'll be all right.
I can only do so much. Folks.
Oh, by the way, just kind of an offshoot. Does anybody notice that Reggie and I are wearing matching shoes?
I don't think they can't see the shoes in the shop. Okay.
I'm just, these shoes are comfortable, man. Thank you for the suggestion.
You're welcome, man.
Okay. Anyway,
Flux footwear. Sorry. Rocking it. But we've spent so much time on this, Brian. And I must say, I guess this is just something I always wanted to do myself. So I spent an enormous amount of research and time into this whole thing and I know that we didn't even touch on most of the outlines that I created.
Well, honestly, not just that, man. We didn't touch on there's a lot of things we didn't touch on.
Yeah.
Bro. There's again, we could have kept going and done another 10 episodes on just the ideological dumpster fire that's going on right now. We didn't even touch the transgender LGBTQ perspective. We didn't.
Oh, you mean the militant agenda?
Yeah,
that is a militant agenda, and I don't want to hear it.
On top of that, they just found out all these people that were the No Kings protests were organic. They've just uncovered emails that they were all planned. Sorry.
How could they not? No, wait a minute. I know they're planned.
Well, they claimed that they were very organic.
No.
But now they have literal hundreds of emails that were sent from different entities and corporations that were funding these protests were requesting them and then funding them.
Okay. I knew this though.
We both did. But they would never take responsibility for it. But now we actually have proof.
The people who were going to these things knew this too.
Yeah. They were paid.
Well, not just that though. I know a few people who actually went to a No Kings protest.
Yeah.
And they knew to go to a certain place at a certain time. It was all planned.
They were their whole claim was it was an organic idea that we gave locations and asked people to show up, and no one was encouraged. They just showed up because they were outraged and blah, 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 blah.
But we know, but
we now know they have now uncovered absolute truth that was all garbage.
And we know there was paid protesters.
Yes.
We know this. That's not a debate. We know there people were bussed around and all this kind of stuff. We know all that. Yep. It just why I don't this is the point where I was thinking you are a blatant buffoon and idiot if you look at all this and go, that's what I want. I'm going to agree with those people.
Yeah. I'm going to hang out with those dudes.
No,
really?
The Zers.
I'm a them.
I'm a they them.
I'm a therzer. I'm a they
You're
therzer.
plural. You're multiple people.
You're more than one person. You got to work that out for me,
dude. Okay, hold on. Speaking of this,
okay,
the funniest video, and I shouldn't have laughed so hard, was this chick who thought she was a dog.
And then got attacked by a dog.
Got attacked by a dog.
It was. I watched that. I almost fell off the couch laughing.
Oh,
she got human real quick.
Oh my goodness, bro! It was like at a convenience store, right? And this stupid. Again, what is with why do you have to be overweight in order to be like in this situation? You know what I mean? I don't understand that.
You know,
what is up with that? You got to be a fat chick in order to do this stuff. I don't get it.
I think there's a certain level of mental illness that comes along with that you just kind of give in to the worst parts of life and you become the worst parts of life. And I think that's what happened.
So like I got ears on, right, and got the sewn on tail on their whatever,
and barking like a crazy person.
And then, dude,
out of nowhere, this dog comes and tears her a new one. And my thought is, got what you deserve.
Oh my goodness. It is. Oh, dude, I'm sorry. Look, anyone getting hurt is really not. And you know.
Oh no. I'm sorry. No, sorry. Yeah. Oh, you got hurt because you wanted to be a dog and a dog attacked you?
You should learn that. Got
what you got.
Well, it's the same thing when like I know a police dog guy, right? And what did he tell me one time? He goes, I've had people come up and say they're this or that. He goes, well, he doesn't like men. So do you want him to decide what you are? Because the dog doesn't know any difference, but they've had trauma from one dog from a certain thing or another, and they'll be more. And he's like, do you really want him to figure that out for you?
Yeah.
You know? And it's like, you know, it's for real. Like,
no, I don't.
Yeah. You know, it just this is a mental illness. It's totally, I don't care. You know, I just don't care. I don't care what you say. That's what it is. Now, that doesn't mean I want to want bad things for you. Not at all. It doesn't mean I'm going to be rude to you either.
But it also, you're going to get what you get.
But I'm also going to recognize that you need help.
Yeah. You need stability in your life.
So okay, getting back to this, man. So we've gone through this whole thing, this whole series. So what are some things that you kind of pulled out from it, Brian, that are like important or revealing or made you stop and think? I mean, anything like that.
The thing that hammered home to me was after our last episode, and I was kind of thinking through everything that we had talked about over the last few episodes, and it's how far gone we are. I've always been one who is hopeful that we would find the precipice and pull back, right? That somehow we might open our eyes and be like, yeah, this is crazy. No. They're just pushing all their chips into the middle of the crazy poker table, and they're betting it all. And well, I mean, okay, so just an example, Reggie, here's an example. I'm going to say this out loud, and I don't say this out loud because I'm trying to be mean. I say it out loud because I just can't get it. Science, genealogy, DNA, chromosomes dictate man or woman. It isn't a feeling. It isn't two-spirit person. Your science dictates what you are. A man cannot become a woman, and a woman cannot become a man. And for saying that, I am seen by a lot of people as a racist, bigot, piece of garbage for recognizing science. I'm not out here like jerking the dresses off dudes and, taking the leather vests off chicks. And I'm just saying that's the science. Like I don't, you people claim to be people of science. Well, that's the science. Gender is not an ideology. Sex is not an ideology. Okay. So I'll give you an example. There was a video of a lady on television the other day who was a lesbian, who was shaming a city council for having rules against transgenderism. And she goes, "How dare you use lesbian politics to be a transphobe because this lesbian has had plenty of girlfriends with penises." Do I need to say anything else at that point? Is there a deeper bucket of crazy that we could dive into? Has this person completely left the planet? How in the name of Pete have we gotten to this point of no return? Like, I have very little hope for the left right now. Very little. Almost none. There is a minister running for Congress in the state of Texas who thinks that God is transgender and has said that and said that it doesn't. He went on the Joe Rogan podcast and said that the Bible, nowhere in the Bible does it talk about homosexuality being wrong. Couldn't be more wrong. It brings it up in 8 or 9 different places. Right? What is happening? Like, I feel like either we are close to the second coming and God's like, I'm just going to crank the wind up and let them go for a minute for some entertainment. And then I'm going to bring the pain. Or has everybody just gone insane?
Well, I think what this series did though was say and illuminate kind of how long and how deep this kind of stuff has.
But that's what I'm saying. As two people who are logical thinkers, right? Like you and I, most of what we believe is logical.
Well, I would say all of it, really, but okay.
Some of it requires a degree of faith, which we both have.
But science requires a degree of faith on something too.
But
yes, it does.
But what is happening? Like you and I look at everything we talked about and we're like, well, here's the logical conclusion. Has everybody else lost their mind and just gone off the deep end? And like there's 70-year-old spinster grandmas out here at abortion rallies shaking signs for women's rights. First of all, you're dried up. You ain't having no kids. So you just shut up. And number two, I'm sorry that you never married and you were too mean and evil to men for one to want to take you as a wife. So you spent your entire life alone and now you see this as your second chance at feminism. I'm sorry, it doesn't work. It's insincere at best. At worst, it is you are mentally ill and you need help. Why can we understand? Yet all these quote unquote learned people cannot.
The veils, bro.
I get the veils, but there's a point of preposterous, right? Like there's a point of this is just insane.
Yeah, I get you, but again, this is what I've been doing. My wife talks about this all the time. She's like, "You're going to tell me it's the veils, aren't you?" I'm like, "Yeah," because it's just there's a perception of reality that just will not get pierced through, bro. There's a truth that just cannot get reached because something's there, something. And so like, there's and I think this goes back to like, look, God puts a lot, he allows a lot of different kind of things to go on because we have free will and we are so stupid. Yeah. In the scope of things, bro, we're pretty dumb. So, I mean, at the end of the day, I look at it and go like, there's not that many of us that really have our head on straight and like can see the real perspective of where God really is and kind of what he's doing. And even that, such a small glimpse that it's like.
And also, where does the hatefulness come from?
But that's where it is, dude. Because
there's a degree of hatefulness right now that is shocking.
Okay, but I will say, yes, and that comes from the demonic aspect of it, because if it's not for God, it's against him. So that's really where you're at. That's where all that is. That's where all that, if out of everything we've talked about in this whole series about stuff, it all comes back to the principalities who are running that kind of ideology.
Okay.
So that's where that is. And they're not loving, they're hateful. So that's where that comes from.
Dude, that's the part about all this, that as we were going through it and I was re-seeing the common sense of what you and I believe and the common sense of it, I just kept going, man, have people just...
But we gave historical, actual context to the ideological capture of all these type of things and how that's doing it. I mean, and it wasn't hard to find.
What about you? What did you... Out of all this, what did you pull out of it?
Well, here's what I did. All this did was validate what I had presupposed beforehand.
Fair enough. That
right?
makes sense.
So what this did was give me actual time and to just really put into it to get the actual quotes and dates and
information,
all the data points that were that could legitimately line up and make all this stuff actually logically connect, not in just a theoretical perspective, but in an actual real tangible, that there's really not any other explanations behind what we're doing. Now, we said some things, I think, that and some of this gets intertwined with like real data points and faith and everything else. But I think in the majority of what we're talking about with the ideological capture of things, that's a legit factual kind of strain of thought that walk through things, right?
Yeah.
And I mean, there's not, I think there's going to be plenty of other people who have other historical perspectives that might be changed from that, but it has to be changed. In other words, those historical marks we've given or quotes or whatever have to have some other kind of context or have some other documented quote or something in order to make it not true, in other words. So I just don't. That's where I'm at. I think this whole thing has just led into how connected the principalities are through everything. I think that's the one thing, right? You got the institutions, you got the sciences, you got big tech.
Now you have churches.
You got churches falling for it because of the social stuff. You got media involved in it, everything else, and it makes total sense by who is really trying to run the show here. You got to understand that the principalities are not good.
Not at all.
These are forces of Satan kind of thing. This is demonic type of stuff, and for the purpose of drawing us away from him.
Yeah. For the purpose of taking away our sanity and pushing us towards insanity.
I just think that it's not. It was no surprise to me that I found as much as we did.
Oh no, I knew it was all there. I just. As I've been going, because also part of my research for this is deep diving into certain things to try to like get different aspects. And I just like the hatred in the left's eyes is so, it's not scary because I don't really, they're not, a lot of them are laughable, but it's also disturbing.
It is disturbing, but
that people can carry that level of just visceral hate.
But that further goes to our argument. I think that further pushes that into even more of a verified, conclusion.
Yeah.
If you have one side that is hateful and that's where they're coming from, then that is absolutely going to elicit a much better, a strong response.
Yeah.
Right. And I mean, this. Here's the deal, man. all I see now, if you want to talk about current stuff, is just an overabundance of it's like everything has just built, and it just ramped up to where we are. And the civilizational aspect of where we are versus other civilizations of where they are, it's completely a mirror. It's just history repeating itself.
Yeah.
Now, the thing about it is, I think we're not all gone. I think we've really got to, I think you'll always have a group of people who have a sane mind and have a true perspective on reality. I think that's never going to go away, until, and then I think Christ will return and we'll all have a go, I told you so moment. But, I think that's where America is going right now. And I mean, I truly think you can see there's some changes happening.
Yes.
I mean, it's, you're seeing these things be defunded and, media's getting back lacking off of some things. And, you have Hollywood backing off of some things and all this kind of stuff. I think you're seeing that, dude. So, I mean, I think that part of it is the left went too far and they know that and they're trying to pull it back a little bit, but it's not going to work.
But here's the problem. The left is trying to pull it back, but you've let the lunatics out of the asylum.
Yes, you have.
You're not going to gather them back up.
We know what happens now when the left has control.
Yeah. Well, but what I'm saying is, like, there have been several Democrats who have come out and they're like, all right, this is enough. But you can't stop it's an inferno now. It's not a dumpster fire. It's now an inferno. And you now have to figure out how to pull these people back and calm them down. And I don't think a lot of them, I don't think you can.
Well, it's a longer process than a
4-year
term kind of thing.
Yeah.
You're talking about probably a generational thing.
You had a senator, a sitting congressman go on national television and say that you don't want ICE in the airports because they're going to be beating and murdering people in the airports. Dude, are you okay? Like for you to honestly manifest that in your head and then be like, I'm going to go on a national news outlet and say that garbage and then think that it wouldn't have an impact or effect. Like, I just keep seeing these crazy-eyed goofballs that are just out here trying to put people in the dirt.
But again, who are they aligned with? The media. The media is aligned with them.
Yeah.
They can get away with a whole lot more than any other thing, man. They just get away with it because that's what the media's like. Oh yeah, that makes a lot of sense. So they're going to report exactly what they say.
Whatever, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, so so this whole thing was pretty cool. I think anchoring ourselves the way we did throughout it, especially when we applied like the 5 solas, Christ alone, Scripture alone, glory to God alone. What was the 5th one? I rattled them all off. And Scripture to glory God alone, by faith alone. Oh, I'm such a.
Did you?
I'm such a tool.
Hang on, I got
my bad.
It's okay. Okay, sola scriptura, Scripture alone, sola fide, faith alone, sola gratia, grace alone, solus Christus, Christ alone, and solus Deo Gloria, God's glory alone.
I'm tired, man. I haven't slept a lot.
I don't think any of us have.
Well, you know what happened? Okay, not that this is an excuse or not, but it got warm enough where really in our house we need the AC on in order to cool it down.
Mm-hmm.
But I didn't want to turn it on yet. So I didn't. But so then it's like 76 at night when I'm trying to go to sleep. And I do not sleep. I cannot do that.
I'll be opposite. I like being warm when I sleep.
Not me, man. It's got to be cold. Anyway, so that's what. Anyway, sorry. My solas have been fulfilled. So yeah. Anyway, so here we are at the Holy Week. We're getting ready to do this. We've uncovered all this stuff. I just hope that it's been helpful for you. And as much of a journey as it was for us, because we certainly, it's really hard to condense down these topics into an hour and 15 minutes that we're doing it here.
Well, and just remember that if you've listened to all these episodes,
you're
then
tops, by the way.
Yeah, you're awesome. But Holy Week is the rubber meeting the road for everything we've talked about, right? Like if you want to know why, if you want to know the origins, if you want to know, the Holy Week is rubber meets the road for all this.
Yeah, we talked about how broken not only we are, but our systems are.
Yeah.
And how this week is the reason why we don't have to be that way. That's really what this is about.
It is what this is about.
So, well, we don't know yet where we're going with the next set of topics.
No, this might be good for us to have a week to noodle that around.
Certainly will not have too much noodles on Easter. Usually that's a ham and mashed potato.
That's more of a ham and fruit salad day.
Although having some pasta would be cool. I mean,
yeah.
I'm certainly somebody's going to bring some macaroni and cheese.
I'm not a pasta guy, man. Like I'm really not. Like I know that sounds crazy coming out of my mouth, but I would rather have like a good chicken parmesan than have like a pasta dish.
I like good pasta. Now, good pasta, right? Yeah. I mean, that's the thing. There's good and bad pasta, bro.
Ragu pasta is bad. Ragu.
Look, I can dig into some beefaroni from Chef Boyardee.
I can't, dude. There's a smell, bro. There's a smell to that from the can. I can't deal with.
Some Chef Boyardee raviolis, dude. Oh, give me a break, man. It's good stuff. I don't know how many. See, there was a point in my life when it was like I got to the point where that was too expensive, and I knew I was in trouble. When I was like, "Ooh, I can't afford a freaking beefaroni can."
I can't afford a can of beefaroni at 58 cents.
Yeah, it was that was my Vienna sausage and cracker days.
Oh,
yep. That was
Vienna sausage. Sorry.
Hey, I made a good meal for me, man.
Dude, mine was tamales in a can. Remember they have paper on them and you'd roll them out of the paper and then you put them in the microwave and heat them up. Tamales in a can.
I didn't ever do those.
My heart probably is like, I remember that.
I just, it was funny is it wasn't in college where I was having that issue. It was really when I was on my own completely.
Yeah.
And here you are. I'm in this apartment going, I open my fridge and it's like, there's
nothing in their fridge.
There's some ketchup.
Ramen noodles, baby.
Well, I did, dude. I had a lot of ramen noodles, man. But, so yeah, that's kind of funny.
Yeah.
Well, I hope everybody has a great Holy Week. Remember what it's about, and make sure find a good church.
Spend some time with people that count.
Yep.
Right. And don't spend your time out there fighting. Spend your time out there loving people.
Yeah. Loving people.
Loving people.
And loving people not just to coddle them.
Yeah.
Loving people to help them.
Yeah. Be honest in the way you love people.
Yeah. That's key. If you're not honest, it's not love, by the way.
Yeah.
So we're on B Talks.
I'm Brian.
I'm Reggie.
See ya.
Bye-bye.